All right. Well, I think that probably brings us through to our session for tonight, which are the unconventional ways to be found in search. So I've got a question first. So as we're going to make this a bit of a workshop, there are no PowerPoint slides. I see some of you breathe a sigh of relief. There is no death by PowerPoint tonight. It is more of a workshop style. We're going to open up the browser and going to have a look in the browser at some examples and, sort of how you can use some tools there and really get into the search engines without doing a lot of work, but also some unconventional ones as well too. So your search engine specialists, so there are SEO agencies, there are agencies out there that will do a lot of the technical work. So they'll do things to make sure, your web pages are structured properly. You've got all your heading tags in the right places. You've got alt tags. For those that don't know what an alt tag is, that is a descriptive tag of your image so that when your image doesn't show on the website, or if you've got people using screen readers, the image is described. So your alt tag should describe what that image is so that, anyone that can't see the image due to their browser or they're using a screen reader, they know what that image is about. So generally SEO consultants will do that sort of thing. They'll do things like building backlinks and, sort of check things like your Google presence. They'll be working through things like your Google Analytics, your Search Console tools as well. We're going to talk about none of that tonight because that's not what tonight's session's all about. It really is about some things that you've got in your control that you can do to really help your search presence. So first of all, what I'd like you to do is open up a web browser. So if you've got Google Chrome or the web browser you open, I want you to open it up. And I want you to then type in your name and search your name. When you've done that, just drop us a done in the chat so I know that you've got it up.
Should I do Jane or Mrs. Red?
Oh, that's a good question. You could probably do both, James. Maybe start off with your name and then also do Mrs. Red as well too.
Yes.
So when you've done it, just drop into chat that you're done. Excellent. So a few people are done. Excellent. All right. So once you've done that, now what I want you to do is open up another tab and I want you to type in your business name. So, name your business. And so you're going to do the same thing. So I want your personal name in one tab, your business name in another. And again, just type in done when you've got both of those. Or give us a nod, wave your hands, whatever it is, so I can see. All right. Excellent. Okay. All right. So when you've done that, once you go back to your personal name, so your actual name, not your business name, and I want you to count up how many listings on the search page are yours. So ones that relate to you. So they could be it could be social media, it could be your website, could be anything, but it's you. It's not someone else, it's you. So I want you to count them up through to, let's see if you can get through to the first 3 pages of Google search. And just once you've got that number of how many relate to you, I want you to drop that into chat. Excellent. Thanks, Jonah. So we've got 2 there. Great start. Excellent. So we've got 7 there. All right, Anna. So intentionally started using a very common name and took measures to stay invisible online for many years. Great, done a great job. Your personal name is not showing. Perfect. Actually, a pseudonym is fine as well too. So if like Mrs. Red, for instance, is a pseudonym for Jane, you know, that there's a brand as well. So yeah, so that's legitimate as well too. You don't need to optimize for your own name or get it up there, but there's some good reasons for doing it, and we'll talk about why that is as well too. What have we got? Okay, so we've got a good 28 and still scrolling, Paul. Rel, first 20 were you. All right, what does it mean? We'll talk about what that means. Mrs. Red up to 30 and not even off page 1 yet. Actually, there is an interesting thing with Google. I'm not sure whether they got page 1 or page 2 now. They've just got this continuous scroll thing happening now too. So, but that's good. If you got up to 30 and you're still going, that's great. Enza, fantastic. 41, still going. That's awesome. Excellent. All right, so what have we got? What have we got? Took until page 3 for me to find my name, business name, or the first page. It was all me, but nothing after that. Okay, so you started appearing on page 3. All right, you've either done a really good job of hiding yourself or haven't done too much about it.
Very common name.
Of course. Well, that is an interesting thing when you have got a common name. Often, if you have got a common name and there is a movie star that shares your name, often the movie star is always going to appear in those first lot of listings.
Yep, there's an IMDb profile that outranks me.
Oh, there you go. Yep. Perfect. All right. Oh, just found one where I've been copied into Chinese. Fabulous. There you go. All right, so this is a good exercise. This is a good benchmark. So using today as a benchmark, counting off how many that you can find in the first pages. In fact, one of the exercises is to find how many consecutively you find. So like, when you start, how many consecutive ones you found. I think that when I did this a while back, when they actually had pages, the first 6 pages of Google were all listings about me consecutively, all about me. So that was actually quite good, and it took less than 12 months to get that. So I'd sold a business, set up a new business, and it took about 12 months to get 6 pages deep in that. So that's part of what I'm going to talk about tonight. That's about the case study and how you can do that as well. Didn't take a lot of work or effort, which is probably good news for some. And if you've got the right strategy, you can really get fairly deep into the search engines for your name. So that's your personal name, and also repeat that same exercise for your business name as well too. You don't have to do that now. You can do it now, but yeah, do it for your business as well. The reason why I focus on your personal name is that when you meet people, they're going to search up your name. So if you meet people at networking events, or you meet them at some physical events, or you're doing things together, you'll more often than not introduce yourself by your personal name. You're not going to introduce yourself as your business. So and if you've got a business card and you're handing over business cards, it's got your name on as well too. So people will typically go and search for your name. And so by optimizing your personal profile, it means that that's what they're going to find. You're going to find all these links about you in your personal name. So that's why your name's important. If you have one of those names that is quite common, that is a more of a challenge for you, you may want to consider changing your name, or having a pseudonym is another way of doing it. Something like, again, I'll use the example of Jane with Mrs. Red. People know her as Mrs. Red. That's a great pseudonym. And so when she introduces herself at events, it's Jane, but, people call me Mrs. Red. And so, you can use those in town. And on business card as well, too, I would be putting on Mrs. Red. So they search for, that particular name. So you can start to guide people if you've got a, relatively common name. Excellent. We're still going there. Ruler, you've got 40 still going. That's great. Jeff, 20 business names. Okay, 7 personal. Yeah, Jeff Summers again. Yeah, you've got a fairly common name as well too. Yeah, there's not too many Nick Crees around in the world, so it's super easy for me. And there's not too many Nick Crees that are spelled without a C as well. So I've made it even easier. So that's one thing you could do, is actually just change the spelling of your name to something that's a bit more unique and different. And that's a way of getting you up on the search engines. So it's a bit like using a pen name when you're writing a book. All right. Oh, professors and authors with the same name. All right, well, that makes it even more challenging as well, because they'll definitely have a fairly good presence usually. All right, well, let's share my screen, and we'll bring you through a couple of examples here. All right, let's close off some of these. Okay. All right, what I'll cover off first of all is just how these search pages work. I know some of you will know this information. If you do not, keep an open mind for the things that you don't know as well too, because there are some changes that have happened in Google of late, and it's probably helpful to know. So so you can do this with your role. So whatever your role is, also search for your role and think about what people would be searching for as your role. So if someone's wanting to buy a house and they're looking for a home loan, mortgage broker is typically what they're going to be searching for. So think about how people search for you. So on this page here, we have first of all, so I'm not in incognito mode. And that's one thing I should have mentioned at the beginning. If you are searching the browser in your normal logged in mode, you're going to get skewed results. So you're not going to get the results that necessarily everybody else is going to see. You're going to get results that Google or the Google algorithm thinks is relevant for you. So really to get a truer picture of it, you might want to jump into an incognito tab, and then you can get sort of a truer or a cleaner picture. But just remembering that everybody that searches are all going to get slightly different results, because Google's trying to serve up the most relevant results for people based on their preferences or what they've been searching for, what's in their email account. They've got a whole lot of data which is all gets fed into their algorithm to determine what they search up. But the principles are all reasonably the same. So searching for the role. So in this case here at the top there, you can see I just happen to be in Vasti Lakes in Queensland at the moment. So these results here are for Vasti Lakes. So there's a link there which says, if you want to sort of search in a different area, if you click on that choose area, it's a pop-up that pops up, and then you can search, for some other areas around here as well. So you can click other areas to go and sort of see what the search results are there. So you can see it's come up. Oh, it's gone to Google Maps now because I double clicked on that. So you can get results there that are in different areas as well. Right, let's see if we can go back to the original screen. And I'm going to go back and search my location because it had exactly what I wanted in there. No, I've lost exactly what I want. Let's try this here. Okay. Faster. Let's see, we go. Let's try this again. And of course, it's just given, all right, well, let's get rid of that there. It's just given us near Vasti Lakes. Mortgage broker near Vasti Lakes. Let's just have mortgage broker. Yes, and of course it's changed it. All right, so first of all, it had that location. Then directly beneath it, it doesn't have it now, but it had what your paid search results. So those are the ones that are Google Ads. People are paying to be in that top position, and that typically takes this top position here. Let me see if I can refresh that and bring that back again. Okay. And then the next section they've got here. Oh, here's an interesting thing as well too. Next to, so the first one, the first site we got up here is one that's called moneysmart.gov.au. And generally government sites are authoritative sites. They tend to get a little higher in the search engines than, business listings or just .com.au or .com listings. But there are three little dots. You can see there are three little dots beside all of these listings here. And if you click on those three little dots, they give you some more information about each of these searches. So first of all, what they give you is a snippet from their website itself. So using a mortgage broker, this has come directly from the site, and then they give you the source. You can click through to the page, and then they also tell you whether this data is personalized. So it tells you, from the data that's collected, whether it is using your previous activity to serve you up the site as well too. So each of those listings there, they've got those three little dots beside it. They're really helpful if you're doing a wee bit of research into how they're there, what sort of, sometimes they have the keywords in there that people search for as well too, and it just really gives you some information about it. And if you're looking to target, say, this particular term as well, it gives you some reasons why these appear here, and then it can help you with crafting your content to appear. So that's the first thing, those three dots. Second thing is that they have additional search results here as well too. So you can see the section that say that people also ask. So in this case, it says, is it worth paying a mortgage broker? If you click the little drop down arrow, it gives you a snippet from a website. So this comes from what Google thinks is probably what you're searching for. It's anticipating what you're searching for, predicting what you're wanting to search for. It's taking a snippet from a website, so wanting to give you the answer. It then tells you what website it is. So you can actually click through to it if you want to find out more information. But people will often read this information and never visit the website. So what Google's doing is it's getting all of these answers into first page of Google. And so the more times you click these results, the more questions get shown. So it's predicting, the sorts of things that you are looking for. So that's that next section. There is another section there that sometimes appears, it's not here at the moment, which is your rich snippets. And those rich snippets, very similar to this, in that they pull snippets from your website and they post them up here as well too. So you'll see that with some searches as well, they have those rich snippets. And then below that, so once you get past that there, then generally maps appear. So your Google. So one of the easiest places to optimize is your Google business profile. If you don't have a Google business profile, you should have one. Now, Google says that these are really only available for physical businesses or businesses that have a physical location. It's not really, they haven't set it up and designed it for people that have an online business, but you can still set up a Google profile for an online business as well too. But you always will need to put in a location for where your business operates from. So here, these listings here, there are always three listings at the top. And I would suspect that these three listings here paid a reasonable amount of money to a search engine firm or optimization firm to get themselves here. And certainly the top one here has spent quite a bit of time getting reviews. They've got 347 five-star reviews. So they've spent time and money sort of optimizing this here. And so one of the ways that you can sort of help to get yourself into this top listing here is getting reviews. So, or two things. One is to fill out your business profile, Google business profile to 100%. While these days it is a dial that says that is green and it says, good. So if it's orange or red, you need to work it through until you got a green dial on your Google business page. So do that first. And the second thing is getting Google reviews. And that gets you, so that'll give you the sort of a better opportunity to get up here. And then the other thing to do with your Google profile is to make sure that you get articles on your Google business profile up there. So if I jump over to the listing here, all right, you can see, so on the on this particular one, here's my Google profile. I've got it open in editor view. So this is the view that I've got. And you'll see this if you are managing the profile. Down the bottom here, there is an area for adding posts. So if you click on that, now you can start to add some posts. You can put a photo in, you can put a video in, you can put a post in, and you can add a call to action button in there as well too. So they generally stay, I think they stay for 2 weeks, unless they've changed it. They will stay live for 2 weeks. So it is a really easy way to get yourself onto front page of Google for your business, is by putting articles up there on a profile that you've already got. So if you are running events, or if you have particular products or services that you're wanting to promote, we've had products and services in here. We've had seminar sessions that we've run, programs that we've run in here. We've had business owners smashing it online, in here. They've all dropped off now, so we need to add some more back in there. But you can get those on your Google profile. That will get clicks through to you and your website. So and all you need is pretty much 12 posts, and you can keep recycling the same posts. So people don't generally remember the posts that you've had on there. So as they drop off, you bring on another one. So if you've got 12 posts, you're posting one a week. That gives you 3 months worth of posts, and then you can just keep recycling those. And if you're using what do you call it, posting manager, something like Hello Woofy, I know that one does it. There's a couple more that do it. They will allow you to schedule posts to Google Business. Not all social media managers will do it, but some of them will, and it means you can just set it up on autopilot. So every week you've got one of those 12 posts being posted up there, and at all times you've got 12 posts up on there. So that gives you good backlinks back to your site as well too. We head back to, where were we? Over here. Okay, so we're back in Mortgage Bank. Then once you've finished your maps, what is under the maps then? Those are your organic listings. So you get a list of your organic listings, and then below that, they've also got other questions people ask, and they've got related searches before they go into the next side of organic listings. Sometimes they'll have ads below this as well too. And so ads will show below these related search and then into organic listings. So as you can see these days, there's an ad there for Rams, but it is a continuous scroll now. There are no page 1, page 2, page 3. It is just a continuous scroll on the way through. So that's been the recent change to Google's experience. So that's your search pages. So I'm going to bring up any questions about that? Just checking through the comments. Okay, Jeff says, suggest keeping a record of the number of reviews you have, because sometimes Google drops some reviews. You contact Google and ask them to bring them back. You've done that. Yep, so definitely need to watch those Google reviews, because sometimes funny things happen with them. Okay.
Just a question, Nick. So you can't do a Google review, sorry, you can't do articles, you were saying. You can add articles, you can't do those until you've got a fully completed Google profile, is that right?
No, it doesn't have to be fully complete. You can add them before it's complete, but you really want it complete.
Okay.
So you get the best opportunity to push it up in those search or those Google Maps rankings.
Okay, where do you do, I can't see where you do the articles.
Are you in your Google? Are you in your Google Business Profile?
Yep.
So down on the right-hand side, there should be, if you scroll towards the bottom of your profile, can you see on screen here, it says, it's got this little plus button and add a post. Let's take it back to it.
I've got add photo, messages, read reviews, edit services. Maybe it's on the three dots.
Possibly it might be up there as well too, depending on what browser version you've got as well too.
Okay. All right. I'll find it later.
Yeah,
It's all good.
Yeah. So if you have a look through it, generally when you're managing it, there will be a section at the top. I'm not sure why it's not visible for this one here, but there's a section at the top. Here it is here. No, it hasn't got it there. There was a section at the top.
Is it add update? Add update, is that it?
That'll be it. Yeah.
No?
That'll be it.
Add
Yes.
update. So it's okay. So it's called an update. Okay. Just different terminology. That's cool. All right. Thank you.
All right. Good. Okay, I'm going to just bring up my search screen. So this is my profile here, and you can see there are lots and lots of search results for me. So we're just going through all the pages, and there's lots of them. So I'm going to pick out. So this is the case study. I'm going to pick out some of them that are notable, and these are things that you can action and get going as well. Some of these results are quite old. Some of them are quite fresh. So there's a real mix in there. The other thing I want to show you too is, whoop, I didn't want to click on that. Let's bring it back again. Oh, you can see the very first one of mine is my LinkedIn profile. So you've probably heard people talk about having a well-optimized LinkedIn profile. This is one of the reasons why. Because they get picked up by the search engines, and often your social profiles will get picked up, towards the top. So you can see the very top one I've got is LinkedIn. I've done quite a bit of work on that, and it's really sort of describes what I do. And then you've got Facebook, and then we've got Instagram, then we've got my Facebook page. So all in above the fold are the social media links. So the very first thing to get you up on top on search is ensuring that you've got your social media optimized and filled out 100%. So it's complete. These are the things that get into search. There's a couple of other things in there as well too, which are important, which I'll talk about as well too, which gives you an easy in. And in your social profiles, you want to ensure that you have links to your website in there, or at the very least, if you're using something like Instagram, and you can use it on Facebook as well too, is to use something like Linktree. And so Linktree is where is an app where you can put all of your other social media links. Instagram had it so that you could only have one link up there. So using Linktree, you could have a Linktree link up there. People click on that, and then they get to see a list of all your other social media profiles. They can click through to that, click through to your website, click through to your YouTube channel. If you have particular offers or landing pages, they could click through to that as well too. So social media, number one thing to do, ensure that your social media profiles are up to date. And if you don't have a particular social media profile, so let's say, for instance, Threads, that's a newer social media profile, you may not be active on it, but at least claiming the profile and filling out your profile fully on it means that gives you another opportunity to get up on search. You don't have to optimize. You don't have to do anything else. Just make sure it's optimal in the social media profile, and those are things that will get picked up by Google. The other thing I should say too is that when you spell your name, hopefully you're spelling it the same every time. So if you've got one of those names that could be shortened or long, use the same spelling of your name all the time. So, my full name is Nicholas. That's what I get told when I'm getting told off by my mother. So I never really use that, but my name everywhere appears on social media is just Nick Cree, N-I-K-C out of me. It appears the same all the way over. The other thing that should be exactly the same too in all of your profiles is your address and your phone number, right down to the format. So phone numbers, for instance, if you have brackets around your area code, it should be brackets around your area code across all of your profiles. If you split your numbers up, so it's 4 numbers space 4 numbers, it should be that format across all of your profiles. And the reason for that is it's making it easier for the search engines to say, this is the same person or this is the same profile. So you're really making it as easy as possible for them. So keep that format consistent. Your address the same as well too. So, you know, if you're spelling the city or the state that you live in, so like for me, Queensland, I always spell it QLD. There's never a full Queensland. It's always QLD, and it's always in capital letters as well too. So, you know, it's getting down to that level of detail. That makes it easy for the search engines to pick up. And particularly we've got, you know, trying to get these listed profiles into, you know, into your search results. Let's make it easy for the algorithm. That's what makes it easy. Along the top of Google search, you'll see that there are other things. We've got images, videos, news, partner, Australia. So some of these are other keywords up there that will search filters in there that Google thinks you might be interested in. So let's have a look at, for instance, images. And this is a largely overlooked opportunity in search. So you can see in the Google images here, lots and lots of those images are mine. When you click on these images, or if you have a look at some of these images, again, the first one that shows up is LinkedIn. Second one is Facebook. Third one is my website. And so again, that really comes down to optimizing your social profiles that get you in the image. Now, if you click on these images, it will take you through, well, it'll open up the image itself, but then there is a link there that will then take you through to the profile. So there's a link there that says visit. You click on that visit link on the right-hand side below the thumbnail, it'll take you to the website. So it'll take it straight through to LinkedIn. So here we've got an image on my website. So this is the main image on the homepage of my website. And I've labeled this image. So remember I talked about alt text. So the alt text in this image is my name. And so that's why it's appearing up here in search. People click on it, and then you've got a link there which will go and take you through to my website. So people will often find your website and your profiles through these images as well. So it is overlooked. So that alt text or alternative text in your images is really important for you to complete so that, you know, you get yourself up into this search area. One of the easiest places to get up in search. You'll also see in here, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth image along here. And I should say these images are taken by Brad Delaney, who is the headshot guy, and he's been a speaker on here as well too. These are not selfies that I've taken of myself. But this next one here is, you can see BX Global Business Networking Reimagined. So this is their website. So I've got a profile on the BX website. And so just by filling out my profile there and the image there means that I've got a link through to their website. That link through to their website links back to my website. So if people are finding the images, it's a two jump from to their website to my website. So even if I had no images that are from my website in this Google Images page, they can still get to my website off this BX networking image. They go and visit that, and then they can get to my website. So it's almost like piggybacking on, this BX networking here. Here's another image as well too. This is Time Doctor. This is a really good way to get up in search as well. Anyone heard of Time Doctor? No. So Time Doctor is a time tracking app, and so if you it is a time tracking app, but they're also a VA management service. And I left a review on Time Doctor. They subsequently contacted me and asked whether I could be interviewed as a case study on their website. So I agreed to that. And so I have a case study on this Time Doctor website, which is a global website. And I have a link back to my website from Time Doctor. So this here is in that top row of images in Google Images. And again, it's my name. They go through to Time Doctor. And if they go to, I wonder if we can open it up here. Haven't seen it for a while. There we go. This is on the Time Doctor website. Even though it is an older image, it's got my name there. and so there is a so there's an opportunity for people to get third party some credibility or proof or whatever on my name on their website. What else have we got there? YouTube. So all of these shows here, they appear on YouTube. And so the images, the thumbnail images appear here as well. So having a YouTube channel is not just about having video, but it's that you get your thumbnail images appear in Google Images here. So it's another place to get people to YouTube. If you've optimized your YouTube channel, then that's another link back to your website. Here's one here from WordPress.tv. So in the days when they had WordCamps here in Australia, so WordCamps were gatherings of people who were interested in the WordPress web platform. And I've done a number of presentations. So I put my hand up to do presentations at these particular events. And all of those presentations end up on WordPress.tv. And so people get to see me on WordPress.tv. So again, that's in that second line. So even if I had nothing in there and I had not optimized my own website at all, then, here we've got someone else that is really promoting me and promoting my brand. We've got, what else have we got in here? We've got Humanitics. So using platforms like Humanitics, Eventbrite, Meetup, again, those images end up in here as well too. And they also end up in the search listings as well too. So this is quite an old Humanitics one. It is, I can't even remember, that was December. I can't even read the date. Oh, actually, that was someone else's. Yeah, that was someone else's meetup. So this isn't even my meetup. This is someone else's meetup that I was a guest speaker at. So they've got a profile on their website for their event. They advertised it on Humanitics. So this is them doing it. So I haven't had to do any of this here. I just had to show up to that and speak. They did all the marketing. So all the stuff here is put up by them. This one here, Leadership is Changing. This is a podcast by Dennis Giannoutzis. I was a guest on his podcast. He's done all the work to promote me on his podcast. People click through to that. They go through the podcast. On the podcast, they get to hear the interview, and there's a link back to me as well too. So as you can see, there are a heap of images here. So with your images, this is a great area to get some of your optimization done. Videos is another good area. So up the top there, if we click videos, again, lots and lots of videos. These aren't all my videos. So we've got one here, Facebook. The very first one that appears is a Facebook video. So why should you do things like Facebook Lives or be interviewed on Facebook? Or if you're at events or you're speaking at an event or a networking session or on Zoom, then and they're on Facebook, then they get to be on in search as well too. So you can see that is the #1 video on search. So that was back in November 2021. So that was a while back, that one there. And then we've got YouTube, so that my SmashGo channel on YouTube, so they get popped in here as well too. We've got WordPress TV again in here. What else have we got? Her Story. So that was an event, a physical event that I spoke at. They filmed it and videoed it. It's up here in videos. So you can see there are a heap of videos in there. So if you're creating videos, everything that you do, if possible, get it filmed, get it up on YouTube, have a YouTube channel, or at least if others have got YouTube channels or are posting elsewhere as well, they will appear in your video section. Here's an interesting one. Go to the news. See if you've been in the news. That's sometimes not a good thing. So, there may be new things. So here's one, Courier Mail. I was in the Courier Mail there. So there's a news story about me. What else? Probably is not too much in there because I haven't had too much in the news. Maps, obviously that's your Google Maps or Google Business. And we should appear here. There we go. Well, that was an old business that's appearing there at the moment. So we've got, so even the old business that I sold is still coming up under my name for Google search. So even though I don't own the business anymore, we're still getting a bit of love from Google with that as well too. All right, let's go back to that listing. Okay, news maps. And if you click the more button, there are some other options in there as well too. So Google owns a ton of properties, but go through and explore them and see what's there. So I'm just going to go through some of the things that are in here, which will give you some opportunities for yourself to really get yourself on page one of Google. Okay, here's an interesting one here. I've had this profile for a long time now. It's called about.me. It's a free website. And so about.me is really just a website where you can post your photo up. You can post a description about you and what you do. And then down the bottom of it, you can post all of your links to all of your social media platforms. The great thing about.me is that it's one of those, it's almost like a social media site. It's like just a one-page website. So if you don't have a website, it's very simple to get one of these up. So in this case here, it's about.me/Nick Cree. Prominent link to my website. You can actually pay for the platform as a premium feature. I don't pay for this one. This is just free. It gives me another listing and a way for people to find me. And it ends up in the search engine at pretty much at the top at number 1, 2, 3, 4th listing down. So my website is number 2, which is my, but if I didn't have that there, then this appears before, well, it certainly appears before any other organic listings. So people click on that and then they can get routed through your website. So vital thing, make sure you claim an about.me page. Right, we'll scroll down here, Instagram, Facebook, there's a Time Doctor case study. So the Time Doctor case study is above some of my organic results. Then we've got our images in here. So Google Images, you can click to go and see more images as well. And in these images, some of these are mine. This one here, this is a podcast where I was interviewed by Kate Toon. So this is actually her website. So you can go and listen to the podcast on her website. Whoops, I've just gone through to all tools. All right, what else have we got? We've got BX Global. So here's BX Networking Reimagined. So that is a network that I'm involved in. So I happen to be a regional leader there. It says that I'm a regional leader. So again, click through to there, they go through to my profile, then through to my website. So these are other people who have done all of the work there to list me in this profile. So you see, we've got down to the related searches, and all of these listings are mine. So anyone searching my name, they can see that this is not all just my website, but this is other people that are posting stuff up about me. So if you're joining networking groups, make sure you do everything they ask of you, like in terms of particularly filling out your profile. If you get invitations to podcasts, that's the easiest way to get up here, particularly in the image settings here. So accept invitations to podcasts, actively seek out podcasts as well too. And that's probably one of the best ways to do it. People who are running podcasts will do marketing, and this is marketing that you don't have to do. So they will actually do it. And if we look at, for instance, where do you go to find podcasts? You jump into Facebook, search for podcast guest. So here I've just searched for podcast guest, and you will have come up groups there dedicated to podcasts. So here's one group here called Podcast Guest. There's another one, and they've got 11,000 members. There's a Podcast Guest Connection. They've got 9,500 members. So there's a range of those groups there. Here's one here, Podcast Guest Collaboration Community. Hi all, looking for a guest speaker on breathwork on my podcast. So if you're a breathwork specialist, there you go. There's someone that is asking for you. Australian Podcasters Collective. And if you click through to those, I'm in this one here, Podcast Guest. You'll find that there are call outs in there for people who are looking for podcast guests, all sorts of industries. So there's a whole range of industries in there. So type in, the industry that you're interested in or your particularly specialty, then you'll find there are people asking for podcasts in here. Go and visit their podcasts. And often what a good strategy there is to comment on their podcast, or if you get to their web page and you can comment on their web page with a podcast using your real name, what will happen is when you write that comment, sometimes that a comment appears in search as well too under your name. So setting it up with your real name, and so you get to appear on their website, well, in search, taking them to their website just by leaving a comment. So, and podcasts have been a major source of my marketing and getting my listings up on Google. So it's probably the easiest, simplest way to do things, particularly ones where you get interviewed, where you know your topic and you just talk about your topic, they'll ask you questions about it. And it's always the hardest thing for people running podcasts is getting guests. So, if you look for those opportunities, great way to get yourself up into a search. What have we got here? What have we got? There was a podcast. Okay, there's probably another. Here's another podcast here. Podcast.co, podcast network. So that was WP Boss's podcast. There's my GitHub account. What else we got? Videos, WordPress TV. A number of videos from me on WordPress TV. That's appearing there. Tribulent. So they are a WordPress plugin developer, and so I made a comment on their post, and they also, and I did a presentation at WordCamp. I happened to do the presentation and mention one of their plugins. They posted that video on their website. They tagged me and mentioned me on their website. So hundreds of people go to their website because they're looking for this particular, for a plugin. It was a e-commerce plugin, and then they get to see my profile there. We've got Twitter there, social media, Flickr. Here's another one as well. So this is probably one that a lot of people don't know. I haven't been particularly active on this one recently. Flickr is again, it's another Google property, and you can upload images onto Flickr. These ones are really old, actually. But you can upload images onto Flickr and for other people to use. And again, you've got a profile on it as well too. And then you can also embed these images into your website. The beauty about that is that it's on Flickr. You embed it into your website. You've got a link through from Flickr on your website, and it gives you a backlink to your site as well too. All right, what else have we got here? There's some though, I don't even know what that. Oh, here we go. Here's another strategy. Bark. Anyone heard of the Bark platform? So Bark is a place where people advertise to get leads. So you can pay for leads on Bark. And so again, if you set up a profile on Bark and you set it up fully, you might not even use the platform to get leads, but just by setting up a profile, filling out that profile as completely as possible, has a link back to your website and your social media sites, that gets you up on the listings here as well. And so look for things that where you can set up your profile and your links online. These will get you into search as well too, because Bark also advertises on the platform. Humanitics. Again, Humanitics, Eventbrite. How many people use that and have set up their profile on it? So a lot of people just put up their name on it, but complete it fully. So put a whole description about who you are, what you do, what your business is. Make sure you fill that out completely, because that appears. So it's an easy way to get up into search as well too. I'll check this one out. Heyo. Anyone know what Heyo is? No one remembers it? This is an app that I profiled on this session, well, who knows how many times ago. And so I set up an account at Heyo. And it is a video what would you call it? So where you can ask for video testimonials. And so I set up a platform and created a video on the platform. So, but this is what ends up in search, but have a look what's below my video, what's below it. So link to my website, link to my LinkedIn profile, link to Facebook, link to YouTube, link to Instagram, link to Twitter, link to this show here. So there's all of my links. So these are all backlinks going back to all of my profiles and things, just off having a look at setting up a Heyo profile and posting a video. So other people that are interested in Heyo, or if they're doing a search for, let's say, video testimonials or video testimonial software, then I've got an account up there, and this is a way for them to get through to me. So getting some ideas to how easy it is to set up some of this, so that you get a good solid profile in the search engines. Let's go back to it's Tumblr social media network. Check out this one here, Sales Booster. Let's open up this one here. Right, so some of you might have remembered that we had this chap on our show probably last year. So John Dwyer, or JD. So he did a session on incentive-based marketing, and he had an offer in there. His landing page for that offer is still up. So this is his website, and my content of my profile is up on his website. And in fact, if you go to that website, and you can still register in there, or you can buy those vouchers in here, and for me, I get paid for that. So he's he will give me a commission for every one that he sells on this. And this is still up in Google. So here we go. Lots more events here. We've got WordPress, WordCamp, podcast, Her Story conference, which was held in Brisbane. WordCamp. Here's another one, SlideShare. So SlideShare is a great place to get your content up into. SlideShare is a platform owned by LinkedIn, or owned by Microsoft, owned by LinkedIn, which is owned by Microsoft. Go to a LinkedIn profile. If you've got a SlideShare account, then your slides will show up in your LinkedIn profile. So here I've got, so have you got PowerPoint slides? So if you do presentations for conferences or webinar sessions, you load them up to SlideShare, then they're available here, and you can control whether people can download them or not, but they can certainly click their way through it. And you can have links to, so you can see on the side here, I have a profile. So, I've got a description about what I do. I've got a link to my website, and then people can flick through these slides. So they don't actually have to be on a webinar. They can flick through the slides. The great thing about these slides is you can embed a YouTube video in it as well too. So if you happen to have a YouTube video of a webinar or an event that you've been at, or you speaking, you can embed it into one of these slides, and then people get to, it's almost like a webinar on demand. They get the slides and they can view the video as well, and it appears on your LinkedIn profile. There's another one too, if I can find that, called Scribe. Let's have a look. Spotify. Who here sort of has got a Spotify playlist? So if you save songs onto a playlist, yep, that can come up into Google as well. So there we go. I've got 35 public playlists on Spotify. Now you get to see, you'll be able to listen to all the country music that I listen to when I'm coding. It'll horrify you. Let's have a look. What else have we got here? There's another one I want to show you. Okay, podcast, BX Member Exchange. That is my listing and on that network. Meetup. So Meetup is another good sort of place as well too. Even if you create a free Meetup account and you pop in events that you run or sort of things that you are wanting to promote, that'll get you up on search as well too. Boomplay Music. I have never heard of that before, but Boomplay Music has on there a presentation I did, how to create 12 months content in 60 minutes without writing a single word. I have no idea how that showed up there. Let's have a look at that. Oh, there we go. So it's a podcast network. So Boomplay is a podcast network. The Unforget Yourself show there in the States. And I was one of their guests on that show. I'd forgotten about that. So they do a ton of marketing for this. So how many podcasts have we had on here so far? So there's been more than I can count on two hands there. So I'll take any opportunity to get onto a podcast. So if you can do that, find areas in your business that you can get onto a podcast, perfect thing to do. And that's one of the easiest ways to get up in the search engines. Feel better, another podcast. All right, so you can see that here they're like we've got to the end of this particular page of search, and it's still going for me. We get into the next one, TikTok. There's still more for that one. If we keep clicking through, there are still more here as well too. So when I say I dominated the first 6 pages, I think it's even more than that there now. But it's simply by doing things that you would normally do every day with your marketing. So again, podcasts, networking, setting up social media profiles. If you're running events and things, they all appear up there. If you put them into things like Humanitics, Eventbrite, those profiles, making sure you've optimized Google Business with your images on your website, making sure that somewhere in there you've got your personal brand in the images on your website, particularly images of yourself. Make sure they're named your name. And if you really want to put the old tags in, that they've got best traction, your name and your business name. So and the reason why we're looking at the personal profile, again, people are looking at your personal profile when they meet you. So we haven't gone into the business profile. Again, what you'll find with my business profile, some of the same listings will show up here, but there are yet more as well. So again, people will search both personal name and business name. If you happen to have a common name there, then you might want to optimize your business profile. But again, optimize the business profile with your personal name and your business name as well too. Oh, look at this. I've got someone's LinkedIn post, Jenny M's LinkedIn post, which talks about me as well. So it's not even my LinkedIn post. This is someone else's LinkedIn post. So having people talk about you gets you into your search listings as well. And the great thing about you not optimizing your website and getting your stuff in there is that if someone else is saying it, it is somehow more believable than if you say it. So if it's someone else's website or someone else's podcast, that carries a lot more weight and a lot more credibility than if it's your website and your properties. Does that make sense? Excellent. All right. Any questions at all? Let me just come off screen share here. All right, so what have we got? Well, Jane, when I was in incognito mode, my location was Sydney. That's interesting. That's possibly because sometimes with the ISP.
It said something about, the ISP or something.
So your traffic's coming through Sydney, like you're connecting through to a Sydney server for your ISP. So it's not really that accurate, here in Australia. Sometimes you get Queensland, sometimes you get New South Wales.
You know if you can change that, or is that just luck of the draw?
You could try using a VPN. So if you use a VPN, then you can then, decide what, where it's coming from.
Because I've noticed that when I've been searching for things, it points my location to like to Sydney, and I was always like, that's really strange. And you know how when you get those messages, someone has logged in as you in the location, and it says Sydney.
Oh, yeah. That I often get that as well too. So that's just the closest location it can where the traffic's coming from or where your login is. Not much you can do about that. All right, what else have we got here? I had some dodgy time wasting some leads on Bark. Yeah, this was not about using Bark as a platform. There was a particular strategy with Bark, but just having your profile there it helps with your profile and getting another listing up on search. And again, people go to Bark, they'll have a look at what you do, and they'll find you in other places, and they may come to you directly rather than going through Bark. And it really just demonstrates your credibility, what you do across a range of places, not just having your website. What else have we got here? Thoughts on Google AdWords? Thanks, Jeff. There's probably lots of thoughts on Google AdWords. One thing I would say about Google AdWords, if you are paying for ads, you used to be able to pay for ads, and that you would get click-throughs and you get leads off the ads. These days, there's been a change in people's behavior, and what they're doing is they may click on your ad, they won't fill in the form or they won't convert into a lead, but what they will do is they'll have a look and see what else is up on Google search about you. So they may be looking for, who is this person, Jeff? And so they'll search out your website. But if they see a whole lot of listings there that you've been on, interviewed on various people's podcasts, you've been on webinars, you've got various sort of social media platforms, that really sort of helps to boost your credibility that you're not a fly-by-nighter or a one-hit wonder. You've actually got a solid presence there. So when they come back to you, so you might retarget them, for instance, with Google Ads. They come back to you, they go, "Oh, Jeff, I've seen him around, sort of on a number of places there. I'll actually, take action," or subconsciously they'll take the action because they feel like they already know you. So dominating that search is about getting familiarity. So people keep seeing you again and again and again and again. If that starts to happen, they start to get familiar with you. And how if you've seen someone across a number of platforms, or I don't know whether you had the experience where someone's come up to you at a meeting or some event there and say, "I know you. I feel like I know you." And you may not have met them before. It's that fit. That's what you're trying to instill in people, is they feel like they know you because they've just seen you across a number of different places. But yeah, if you're using Google Ads or you're using paid ads, you need to have a strong organic presence these days. They do work hand in hand, and more so today than in the past. Okay. What else we got here? Apple playlists. You're getting so I'm not sure what the Apple playlists come up on Google search. They may do. I didn't see mine there. Mind you, I don't use Apple.
No, didn't see mine there.
Yeah, they are a competing ecosystem to Google, so it is possible that they might not come up. What else have we got here? How do you actually add an alt tag or alt text? That's a really good question, Angie. In your website platforms, when you're uploading an image, so whether you're using WordPress or Wix or Squarespace or whatever platform it is, when you upload the image, generally they will have text fields for you to fill out. So the fields will have like title, it'll have it'd probably say alternative text as opposed to alt text, and it will have description and a caption. It generally has all of those there. So look for the alternative text, but my suggestion is that if you fill in that alternative text, also use the same text for the title and for the description. You can also use it for the caption as well. So having it in the caption is another good way to help to optimize those images. So the purpose of the alt text is to describe what the image is, so that people that can't see the image know what it is. But if you can get your name or your business in there as well, that's a great way to get those images up into that image search as well. So it gets into image search, but also gets into that front page of search too, under the image section. What's a good way to write my personal profile? Thanks, Jeff. Put into ChatGPT. Yes, that can help. A really good way to write your personal profile is to ask someone else to do it. So if you, and when I say ask someone else to do it, if you record it, if you just pull out your phone and record it and ask people, if you ask them a question, how would you describe what I do? And how would you describe me? That's a good way to start writing a profile. Then you can edit that and use that for your profile. Or you can do, as Jeff said, if you ask people to describe you, and also go to your reviews. So if you're getting Google reviews or Facebook reviews, go to those reviews, cut and paste them all out, put them all into, say, ChatGPT, and ask ChatGPT now to craft a profile based on the text that you've fed it in. So you need to base it on the text that's fed in. You want to make sure that it's not creating stuff out of you. So just ensure that your prompt there says, only use this text as reference, create a profile of 500 words or 250 words. And it won't be perfect, but you'll get something that's pretty close. Okay. What if an Apple uses a similar search on Safari? Will the results be the same? Yes, they'll be pretty much the same because you're using Google search. Well, if you're using the Google search engine. But again, whether you're using Google search, Bing search, DuckDuckGo, whatever search engine it is, you'll find that, the results might differ, but it'll be the same sort of process. Excellent. Any other questions at all? Has that been helpful? Have you got some ideas to take away? The idea is, have you got some ideas that you can action? Maybe just drop into chat. What's one thing you'll do from today that will help you to get your search listings up? And what I'd like you to do also is that number that you counted. So jot that number down and keep it somewhere. Do a bit of work in getting some more profit. So whether that's getting yourself onto a podcast or two, or maybe contributing an article, getting yourself into the news, speaking at an event, filling out a networking profile, or even as simple as optimizing your social media profiles, getting an About Me account, and then in a month's time, go through and count your listings. So you do that over 12 months. So if you consistently put in do something each month, and then keep counting those profile links each month, you should start to see those grow. Okay. What have we got there? So make sure your details are all the same. Perfect, Steve. Yep, exactly the same to the punctuation and the spaces in it. Yeah, About Me profile, getting on more podcasts. Pick a unique pen name so there's no competitors. Excellent. And make sure you introduce yourself with that pen name as well too, Anna, so that people know to search that. So something like Mrs. Red, whatever you call yourself, it's like having a profile that people will search. Search for the Chinese fake that pinched your video. Social media posts on what you think you can do. Perfect. Very helpful. Update your profiles. Yep, excellent. Update your Google My Business. If there's one thing that everybody should do here is update your Google My Business. That is one of the most important profiles because Google owns it. And so it's an opportunity to really use what they give you. Excellent. All right. Well, we do. What are we doing for time? We'll look at that. Well, we do have a door prize today as well too. And that door prize is I will run through an audit with you of your organic profile, and we'll see where you appear in your profile listings. And I'll give you a list of things that you can specifically do for your business that will help to expand and increase your social profiles as well too. So let's bring up the wheel of names. We'll do that on Zoom and then we'll record it. You can get to keep the recording and take action on it. All right, so I've got everybody's name on Zoom there in that wheel of names. So let's spin that wheel of names.
I'm here.
Here we go. Is it you? Is it you? And it is Blake. Blake Fox, are you here? I know he can't actually speak because he's got no microphone. So let's just check and see if he's here. I suspect he possibly may be because Anna's here. Yes, Blake's here. Excellent. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not you, Paul. It is Blake.
I'll go back to rolling out LED lights across my floor. I'll catch you later.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
Paul.
you so much. I'll watch the rest of it tomorrow.
Awesome. Excellent. Oh, well, we're done now. All right. Well, now's a good time to save that chat. So click those 3 little dots to save the chat there. Blake, we'll be in touch with you tomorrow to organise a time to run through your profile and what you can do. I think you'll be there too, Anna, as well. And if you want to watch this again, it will be up on the SmashGo YouTube channel. If you're not a subscriber there, then you can go and subscribe there. And if you click the little bell when you subscribe, you'll get a notification when it is up. The link for YouTube is on the chat now too. And also, we'll be here again next week. Link for registering for next week is in the chat. And the Facebook group, if you are not a member of Business Owners Smashing Online, go and join that. This will be up there as well too, as all the tools as well. Excellent. Had some good ideas tonight. Excellent. Great stuff. If you've got any questions about it at all, feel free to hit me up, ask me, and I'm more than happy to help. And we'll see you back again next week. Have a great night.